Hello all and welcome back to the Go Watch series. Today I thought it was about time I brought one of the old school legends of the political religious debate space, Logicked. He's one of my personal favourites on account of his demeanour, really. He doesn't go too aggressive with people, he tries to see things from their perspective. He reminds me of myself. I believe I'm right in saying that he is a lifelong atheist, the same as me, whereas most of the people that you hear in this space are usually converts. So they come in with this Christian mindset that they don't really realize that they've got. They're quite dogmatic, even though they're breaking away from Christianity. They've been brought up within that religion and they hold that kind of mindset. Whereas Logic, like I say, reminds me quite a bit of myself. He's much more open and emphatic towards other ideas, rather than just closing off and saying, no, that's not right, trying to imagine things from their perspective. And as I say, he doesn't mind going the extra mile with his research. But the main reason I want to bring him to your attention today is basically because of the SciMan Dan video. I think there's no greater example of why Logic is such an upstanding character, right? He absolutely will go after his own when he sees a flaw in their logic. He doesn't just jump on a bandwagon and say, yeah, we're all atheists, we're in it together. Yeah, we all believe the world is round, we're in it together. He says, no, you got that wrong, and I don't care if I'm on the same side as you, in quotes or whatever. If you got that wrong, I'm willing to stand up and say that you did. So I love him for that. I think there should be more of that going around. People shouldn't take things to heart so much when they get called out on something that they got wrong. And it also kind of shows what I've been saying about SciMan Dan. Feels a bit lazy to me. I believe he got most of his subscribers through shout outs from other channels. He fit in with the same group as Fight the Flat Earth and Conspiracy Cats, MC Toon, those kind of people. But whereas they were putting in actual facts and research, or at least decent insults, I feel like Dan has kind of just skirted along on their coattails a little bit, and he's put so much money, he's invested so much money and time into his channel and his new studio, and yet he still doesn't seem to be putting the effort in with the research. And I think Logic really pointed this out. So I'd just like to play a clip from the video, and then please leave your guesses in the comments as to what you think it was, and then go over and check out Logic's channel to find out what it really was. Take care, guys. Thank you. See you in the next one. Peace.
Okay, so we're watching a video from the ISS, and fortunately whoever sent NightGod333 this video has the courtesy to move the camera up so we can see that this says ISS HD live feed. Later in the video he shows the full title and points to it. So now we have a first step if we want to know what's going on here before we even have to look at the video. Just type in ISS HD live feed into whatever search engine, and it'll come up with several different options as to where to watch it. I don't actually know where in particular this guy's watching it, but it doesn't really matter.
Looks almost as if there's a possible fleet.
Well, yeah, there's lots of those little ones around the area of the big one all the time, every single day for years and years and years.
Oh dear, fleet, he says. A fleet. Sure, matey, sure.
Got him.
There's really baffling, especially this.
And there it is, the mothership. If you were confused up until this point and you have not seen my video on this previously, this is the moment where you should suddenly say, oh, now I get it.
Like I said, it makes me wonder if the larger portion is cloaked and then that portion just happened to slip through the cracks, and that's what we're seeing on the ISS feed.
That looks how blown up rocket motors should look, to be honest.
Are you fucking with me? Look, man, people get things wrong, okay? Getting things wrong is one thing. The problem is he didn't try to get this right. As soon as you saw that sort of wheel and spoke lacy pattern of lights, that kind of spiderweb shape, frankly, it should have been instantly obvious generally what you were looking at. That looks how blown up rocket motors should look. In what way does that look how blown up rocket motors should look? Not just while looking down at the Earth at night from the ISS, but in general. What we're talking about, I think, is an ullage motor from a Russian upper stage originally. Here's what that upper stage looks like, but then I still don't understand in what way the appearance of this object is supposed to be derived through explosion from a motor that looks like this. I don't see the similarity. If this was exploded Russian machinery, I would expect it to have some kind of identifiable similarity, not to be entirely transformed into a completely different structure. That would have to be explained. And then, of course, the illumination. We're on the nighttime side of the Earth. What's illuminating this debris? I know it's not the sun, because on this ISS live feed, there's parts of the ISS that protrude into the camera's view, and they become illuminated by the sun oftentimes before the land that we see below us does. So that's fine. And speaking of which, I used an orbital velocity calculator to figure out how fast this should be moving relative to the ISS, and based on its given apogee and perigee of 19,074 kilometers and 388 kilometers respectively, I see it going around 2 kilometers a second faster than the ISS. The calculator brings back the ISS going around 7.7 kilometers a second, which is correct. This motor should be going around 9.7. And most likely it should be going in the same direction as the ISS. Typically things orbit in the same direction, the direction of the Earth's spin, just for reasons of practicality. But instead of it appearing to move 2 kilometers a second past the camera, which at the distance it would have to be would probably not even take up 1 frame of video, we see it drifting lazily along perfectly straight across the screen to the left, so in the wrong direction. Now, the ISS orbits between about 413 and 422 kilometers. As I say, this motor was orbiting with a perigee of 388 kilometers. That's not much within the orbit of the ISS. This would be an unlikely shot at the best of times. And it's kind of hard to explain why, considering that the orbital inclination of this motor was 65 degrees. It appears to be moving directly left in a straight line parallel to the bottom of the screen across the camera of the ISS that's orbiting at an inclination of about 52 degrees. And interestingly, showing no signs of rotation while it does it. Quite the accomplishment after an explosion.
By now, I'm sure you can see what I mean when I say that Logicked goes above and beyond when it comes to researching his topic matter, and that he absolutely is not afraid to hit at the people who are allegedly on his side, quote unquote. If you make a mistake, Logicked will call you out on it, whether you're a big channel or a small channel. It doesn't bother him, and he will go absolutely into the weeds to pull out all of the relevant data to prove his point. And I honestly think if you haven't checked him out, he's well worth your time. So before you go, it did take me a while to cut the solution out of this video and leave in some of the relevant parts. So please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think the thing is that we're looking at, and then hop over to Logick's channel to find out the real solution and leave him a nice comment letting him know that I sent you. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.